You're the best FF14 mechanic. Oh, I see.
Greetings, travelers.
Yo.
I love Limit Cut. I love it so much that I fall asleep to the thought of it and wake up with my fist clenched and white knuckles, because it makes me feel so good. People say that you ruin your friendships by playing Mario.
Alright, before I continue, is this whole video just about Limit Cut? Oh god.
Party. Maybe if everyone is a fucking pussy. Take your friends into Eric of Alexia Ultimate and run Limit Cut. Watch as your relationship goes from full green bar to full red bar in about 3 pulls. I would like to personally thank this mechanic for making me realize that my love is conditional. It's a good thing that vanilla is an octuple legend. Do not fear, as I am here to help ruin your friendships even faster by giving you a as I am here to help ruin your friend. It's a good thing that vanilla is an octuple.
Oh, okay. I thought he'd, like, made new titles. Never mind. Alright, look. Like, before we continue, like, it's not that bad. Like, it's a wall for your average group. Sure. It's a tough mechanic to get around. You know, 8 people have to know what they're doing and not fuck it up. Unless your number's passed. But, like, man. It's not that bad. Yeah, I mean, like, in my original prog, counting the explosions, I had my tank at the time. He was a fucking Chad. He was counting the explosions, and it made it so easy to figure out when you were, like, taking a cleave or dash. There's ways around it. I just think people don't take the time to recognize the pattern.
Legend. Do not fear, as I am here to help ruin your friendships even faster by giving you a glimmer of hope about the mechanic. It can be solved with about 100 attempts from a group that is completely fresh. If you manage to clear it faster than that, give yourself a big pat on the back for being on the downhill of the bell curve. But remember, your clear still isn't real unless you get 100 parse. Step 1, kill living liquid. It's only a 2-minute long fight, it can't possibly be that bad.
Just do doll skip, man. Kill it in literally 1 minute. It's that easy.
Now, what does Limit Cut actually do? Nobody knows, except for everybody. Closed caption will appear directly behind number 1 exactly in the direction that they are facing.
Yes.
Exactly in the direction that you are facing whenever the snapshot decides to occur. It is very consistent. CC will do a cleave with a small pushback and then dash directly through number 2, and then just repeat that for numbers 3 and 4 and so on. Except if you are an even number and you don't look directly at Cum Chaser, you're going to get sent to the Shadow Realm, also known as New Zealand. But you know what? All of these ragdoll mechanics can be prevented with knockback immunity. Limit Cut by itself is pretty easy to deal with. The problem is that the entire arena is listening to a Vanga Boys concert with 2.
Also, if you look directly at him, you don't get knocked back. Not really worth the risk. Press arm's length or shortcast anyway, but if he hits you head on, you don't get knocked back.
Booms chasing each other clockwise at opposite ends of the arena, with the middle occasionally exploding for good measure. To make things even more thrilling, these explosions can spawn on any cardinal or intercardinal to make it ever so slightly random. There are 2 popular ways to solve this mechanic. The 1-2-5-6 strat, which splits up the party onto 2 sides of the arena, and the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe strat, where you put everyone on the same side. I would say that both strategies are difficult for different reasons. Mario Kart requires you to be a bit more precise with your placement of Limit Cut, while 1-2-5-6 requires you to be able to tell the difference between north and south.
True.
So Mario Kart is easier. Thankfully, this video will only contain how to do 1-2-5-6 because Mario Kart really went downhill after Double Dash. Step 1 again, kill Pepsi Man. The circle that you see marked in the middle of the arena is safe and you want to be there before the sea bear shows up. But you will want to be able to read your number easily. So stand
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, how do you fuck up a Mario Kart game? Aren't they all just fine because it's Mario Kart and so it's just the same thing? So if one game's good, they're all good. Like, I've played several Mario Karts and I think they're all good.
Standing ever so slightly outside of the safety circle and immediately walking right in as you see your number is not a bad technique. Another strategy is to jump in place in the center to try to see your number more easily. I would say, find something that works for you. Always remember that blue numbers are odd and red numbers are even, so...
Another tip for this. Turn titles off. Like, just turn titles off for everybody in your UI settings. The number's a lot easier to see.
If you see a blue number and think it's a 6, it is most certainly not a 6. If you are colorblind, get fucked. Now I'm going to put some random XML on the screen over here and link it in the description that has nothing to do with cheat codes whatsoever. It is absolutely not meant to be used on a text-to-speech feature for a certain program to just tell you your number without having to look at it. I don't use third-party tools and I think you're clear as lame if you do use them, but I want you to know something right now. You don't need my blessing or Yoshi P's approval to get an ultimate totem. I am the real fool though, because by not cheating, my progression is very slow, nor is my gameplay any better. Oh sorry, I just went a little off track there. Once you know your...
Don't cheat, man. Don't do it. He's wrong. You can get better without it.
Number, you should probably orient your camera north-ish, but a little to the west so that you can see if there's an explosion there. To help ease this pain, our group has a marker on west and a marker on northeast. If the explosion is on, or anywhere in between those markers, that is for 1256. If you have a different number, you're going to be chasing the other explosion and you need to turn around or simply walk backwards if you have the legacy camera setting. Since we generally split up the group north side and south side, east and west explosions is the edge case where your entire party will delete their last remaining brain cell. It is probably better to just reset due to bad RNG, although that is going to send you all the way back to Jag Dolls, so I would just recommend learning it. You do not have to move as soon as the first explosion goes off. You can wait for the second one because the center is safe until it's not on the 5th explosion. The safe spot while chasing the booms is always in the back half of where the explosion just was. You see this little black line on the ground? That dictates where the safe spot ends. Now I could tell you that you have the whole wedge to work with for your safe spot. I could also say that limit cut resolves around the same time as the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th explosion in the order that you would expect it to. I could also tell you that our group tanks limit cut on the inside track, but like a decision in a Nuki-Gay, it doesn't matter if you do it inside or outside. In fact, I am telling you these things. What people should tell you is that number 1 and number 2 are the most important part to making the 1-2-5.
I get the feeling that like his group is struggling with limit cut. What do you think? I think this guy has a real gripe with his group right now, and he just needed to get it out of his system. Man. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. No, I just think he likes Neko Para. I mean, that much is very obvious too. Though I do wonder if it's just ironic sometimes, or maybe he knows I react to his videos and he wants to impress me. That would be the dream case. But I don't think that's happening.
5-6 strat work. This is because as number 1, you want to be as deep into the safe zone right after the 3rd explosion as you possibly can be before you get hit by limit cut. That way, number 2 can stand as far back as possible in the 3rd safe zone and not have C2 dash in a completely stupid direction. You only have to be about halfway into the safe zone at a minimum for it to work. Being any further does make it a little bit easier though. You will often see people sprint if they are number 1, but as a warning, if you sprint early, you will have to stop yourself for a little bit right before the first 2 explosions. A good old little stutter step technique because you will be going too fast. However, never turn yourself around, ever, because you will cleave the entire planet and me personally. I love pain, so don't make me happy. For everyone who isn't part of Limit Cut in that moment, you want to stand roughly parallel to where Cruise Chaser appears. I say roughly because you might want to pay attention to where the cleave is going if it isn't angled where you expect it to be. You might want to use your eyes and have your monitor plugged in and switch to the on state. Please.
Look, I'm one of the weirdos that likes 1256 because I have trust issues with people, okay?
Walk into the cleave as soon as you see the visual for it go off, because the dash part of this mechanic has a hitbox that is almost as big as your mother, and it catches a lot of people off guard
Hang
if you
on a
aren't
minute.
super close to the edge of the arena or you don't move into the cleave quick enough. Please wait to move in if you are an even number for Limit Cut so that the dash doesn't go straight forward and murder everybody on your side of the arena.
And don't stand on the outside or like to the left of him and then cleave the people that are standing here. And then turn around and be like, huh? Why are you guys standing with me? Like, no, you're stood in the wrong fucking place. This happens in PF a lot. In my short experience of TPF, that's happened numerous times.
With 1 and 2 out of the way, you might think that I have to explain everything else in the exact same amount of detail, but all the other numbers are extremely similar, just at different times and a lot less stressful. You want to be able to count to 4 for the explosions, because after the 4th boom, you need to hold for a second as the center explodes and then watch the explosions continue from there. For Limit Cut 3 and 4, this makes it incredibly easy, as all you have to do is count to 4, stand right next to the line for the safe spot as number 3, and then a bit behind them as number 4. There is quite literally zero pressure to be fast because the middle explosion makes this nice and casual. After the center explodes, everyone just keeps walking.
I'm one of those people that also likes the sound of Hawk Blaster. It sounds so clean, man.
We have 1 and 2 move to the outside ring, and 5 and 6 move to the inside ring, but once again, this doesn't actually matter if everyone knows where Limit Cut is planned to be tanked. The part that makes the rest of this nicer is that the explosions behind you aren't going as far because the mechanic is ending. This means as long as you move exactly 2 safe slices forward, you cannot possibly get hit by the Hawk Blasters behind you. This means that Limit Cut 5 and 6, while they do still have to be a little on point, can kind of casually stroll into position without worry of being too slow if you're number 6, because the Hawk Blaster probably won't catch you. And 7 and 8 happen right as the mechanic is ending, and you'll see that our group tanked the Limit Cut for those on the outside ring of the arena, just so that 3 and 4 can join the party in the middle a little bit sooner. Also so they can get completely out of the way of the mechanic much faster. But as I said before, it doesn't matter where you tank the Limit Cut as long as every party member is on the same page. And that's it. That's my unhelpful guide, because you want to know how I actually learned how to do Limit Cut. By watching point of view videos of the mechanic for about an hour before bed every single night. That way I could run the memory over and over in my brain while cradling my waifu to give me the strength to keep going. But what happens if someone dies before they resolve their number? I love Limit Cut. Now let's get out there and die to J-Kick.
This might just be the best guide for Limit Cut of all time. I'm very impressed. I like it. It's good. It's good shit, dude.